Well, Chitty certainly got us off to a flying start. But it's now time to move on to the first of our brilliance of Boys with Toys sections. Every week we'll be showing you the best games, gadgets and experiences to make life a little more entertaining. This week's theme is How to Live Like a Secret Agent. With the arrival of the latest James Bond film, Skyfall, we just had to mark the occasion. But spy gadgets and games are very popular, and we could spend an entire programme on this section alone. So we've only picked the best of the best for you.
Now, some of these games are age restricted and have been carefully checked by the producers before I've been allowed to play. The age warnings are there for a good reason, and you should always check content yourself before allowing younger gamers to play. Having been given a green light though, I'm armed with 3 consoles and ready to go. So, if you want to be James Bond in the virtual world, then you should try playing Bloodstone, Goldeneye Reloaded, or Activision's newest offering,
007 Legends. You take on the role of James Bond, as played by Daniel Craig, running missions in the most iconic settings of 007's 5-decade film history.
The game opens with a scene from Skyfall, where Bond is accidentally shot by a sniper. He then plunges into the icy waters below, and his life flashes before his eyes. At least his previous adventures do, particularly Goldfinger, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, License to Kill, Die Another Day, and Moonraker. There's also an extra Skyfall mission that can be downloaded to complete the story.
Each level keeps the look and feel of the original films.
What feels really odd though is that Daniel Craig's likeness has been used in all the missions, rather than using Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan and Roger Moore. Activision says that this is to maintain the plot.
Time to face destiny.
But it sits rather uneasily with Bond fans at times. Because the iconic lines that have been watched by generations over the past 50 Christmases just don't seem to work.
By the way, I didn't catch your name.
No, that's not right. It's Bond. James Bond. Daniel Craig doesn't even voice the character.
They're dead.
Well, Goldfinger sounds almost Schwarzeneggian.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Away from the technicalities, there's more bad news. There doesn't seem to be any natural progression between the levels, and the films are completely out of order. There's just a short underwater vision of a few bubble characters between scenes. Then it's back to the next randomly selected batch of action. One thing is clear though. Eurocom has deliberately pushed the Die Another Day car chase and the Moonraker missions to the end of the game. Why? Because nothing gets you excited like a bit of fast driving and a zero-G laser gun battle.
These elements really make the game something special, and so it's sad that there aren't more of them. It's also a shame that cars and boats are missing from the game's online multiplayer section, which consists of just standard shooter games. A few car chases with friends would have made all the difference. But as it stands, it really is a much better single-player game.
So is it Bond? Well, almost. It has some of the greatest villains and some iconic scenes, but at heart, it's really a full-on shooter game. In fact, it feels more like Call of Duty than James Bond at times. There are a few moments where you step away from blazing gunfights, but they're rare. There is the option of stealth during most levels, and a few missions where remaining unseen is mandatory, but the controls are rather clumsy, and it's often easier to just shoot everything that moves. In the unlikely event that waiting in like a Terminator on speed doesn't work, achieving stealth is as simple as crouching down.
And you can take out the bad guys in hand-to-hand combat with these, if you sneak up behind them. A bit predictable perhaps, but that's Bond for you.
What is more bizarre is the fact when you're crouching up behind your prey, you actually punch below the waistline.
Spot me.
So, to remain hidden, you effectively have to kill people by smacking them in the butt. I am an innocent, evil astronaut, helping to destroy the Earth in a miniskirt.
What the heck?
Guard!
Who would do this? No, it's not very Bonnelly, is it? Anyway, when you're not busy punching butts or shooting people, there are a few elements of skill, like cracking safes, picking locks and hacking computers. The add-on Skyfall mission is free to play for those who've already purchased Legends, which makes it pretty appealing. Based on some of the latest film's best scenes, the mission whisks players into Istanbul, where they start by chasing the bad guy over the rooftops, through streets and even on the roof of a high-speed train. As with Legends' other levels, Skyfall's shooting sections feel very much like themed versions of Call of Duty. Unfortunately, none of the game feels as slick, and its final shootout will really try your patience. On the upside, the major highlight of the section is a brilliant, fast-paced motorcycle chase that will have you on the edge of your seat. The vehicle controls are occasionally annoying, but the sense of speed is epic, and it really does feel like Skyfall. If you love the latest film, this extra content certainly makes 007 Legends more appealing, but is one extra level enough to make it the best Bond game ever? To answer that question, we played the Xbox versions of 007 Legends and Bloodstone, plus the PS3 version of Goldeneye Reloaded. So, the boys with toys verdict?
Anyone who loves 007 car chases would agree that Bloodstone has the edge in terms of action. Other than an exciting section where you get to drive a tank and destroy half a city, there are very few controllable vehicles in GoldenEye.
Sadly, the chases in Legends are also so short that they're hardly worth mentioning. You drive a Hummer in License to Kill, and the Aston Vanquish in Die Another Day. But that's really not enough to compete with its predecessor. Even the Skyfall motorbike chase is pretty brief.
In Bloodstone, you're playing for all of 5 minutes before everything explodes around you, and you're into a high-speed powerboat chase. This develops rapidly into a car chase with the Aston Martin DBS, which feels pretty epic. You also get the chance to drive the iconic Aston Martin DB5. Although this may not end well. Smashing parking. See how terrible that was?
So, there we are. 007 Legends is well worth playing due to a few outstanding sections. But it's by no means the greatest Bond game ever. As an idea, it had massive potential. But it's really not the best tribute to 50 years of Bond. That said, being Bond does give you one major advantage.
These games are based on films, not real life. In short, when something blows up, it blows up in style.